All right, Dennis.
Here.
All right, Roberto Diaz Mahano.
Here. Your Honor.
He's the one who's asking for the interpreter.
This case will qualify in
Yeah.
policy.
Let's do that. I'll open up my email. Well, not just close.
No, sir, it's a early termination.
I used to do that. You could do it.
Of course.
That's how I'm struck.
Yes,
I should use the words that I'm actually trying to use.
no, you speak all the time.
Okay, Tosi Fields, here. All right. How do you say your first name? Tosi. Tosi. Thank you. Names are important. Jamonte Henley.
Here.
All right, thank you. Franklin Hudson.
Right here, sir.
Judge, I believe we have a witness here on that
Okay.
for our hearing.
All right, I'm gonna read that. All right, Jerry, item? IDOM, item? No?
Well, that's for probation warrants, Owen.
Okay, so he had requested virtual. I'm opening up the system just to be very careful. There's no one currently virtual. So I'm gonna grant the warrant for now, and obviously if he shows up virtually, we'll address it at that time.
Judge, he also has two.
Oh, 2 cases. Oh, I see. All right, 2 warrants.
Is he out of state or something?
Yeah, Chicago.
Next, we're about to call.
Okay. All right, so Ms. Kurt was here on Gracia.
Yes, I just gave her the plea paperwork. I believe she must have stepped out with her client to go over it, but that'll be a plea.
Sounds great.
And that's the court file I just gave.
Judge, on the next one, we have the last name as Irby. The court has it under Purdue.
Who's that?
Okay, so
Chelsea, we have it as Irby, but the court has it as Purdue.
is Chelsea Irby or Chelsea Purdue present? Anyone by either of those names?
Oh, it's on page 5. All right, well, that's just top of page 5, Kevin.
Thank you.
We'll ask for a warrant, Owen.
All right, that's verbally granted. I have a couple of emails in my inbox that I'll take a look at and we'll talk about after court and see if there's something that justifies, maybe virtual, I don't know.
Something related to
I just
that.
have something in there that I haven't looked at yet. The list of emails I have not responded to is the see.
I know the feeling.
Alright. Okay. All right. Kevin Jenkins.
Here.
Thank you. Juan Jimenez, almost. Oh, that's your. That's your
Yeah,
valid.
he stepped outside with his own.
So,
Yes, that's Mr. Ballard's case. That was a bench warrant from
He's
back in
finishing up the rights
December.
form.
Yeah, and that's gonna be a plea.
happily take. All right. Jonathan Martin.
Okay, that's Susan Miller's case. So
Yes.
Judge, that one, I spoke to Mr. Miller yesterday. I don't know if the court recalls, but this is one that the defendant wants to do accountability for.
Okay, this is
But
coming
he's
back.
moved to Macon. And so they're trying, and I know we had the same issue with the previous case, trying to transfer it down to Macon. Ms. Miller said she's left a couple voicemails and is waiting to hear back from the folks down there.
Okay.
I know that Ms. Heffron had the same issue when she was trying to coordinate with them, so I think it's it's definitely on the Macon end of it. So what I told Ms. Miller we would do, excuse me, is to just continue this one to the May calendar.
Okay.
And then he'll have, if he's not in accountability court by then he'll try the case for interplay.
Well, and what we could always do even then is do an accountability court plea.
Yeah, that's what I told her. That was just the end of the line.
Transfer. Yeah, okay, we're on the same page then. So
Yes.
the short answer is, I love that plan, let's do it. So, okay, that's great. All right, Miranda Morris.
Here.
Thank you. All right, Anthony Nobles.
The case is off, Judge.
Wonderful. All right, the next one is Chelsea Purdue, or Chelsea Irby is a warrant, and we'll come back. Jason Sidbury? Sideberry? No?
100%.
Okay,
That's for a warrant total.
granted.
Just for the record, Judge, he requested to appear virtually. I denied that request because he's in the state of Georgia and Lawrenceville, and I told him that he could appear in person.
I think that sounds reasonable.
The way he drives, he could have been here in about 20 minutes.
Why would we ever want to go to Superior Court?
Yeah.
All right, warrant signed, probation total. All right, Wanda Starks,
The case is off, Judge.
wonderful. All right, Takia Stillwell.
Here.
All right, thank you. Maurice Thomas. Maurice Thomas? No?
Expired tag. Is that just is that a 30 for 30?
15-day case, just.
15 day, way back. Well, that's for a warrant total.
Granted.
It made it. Either way,
Isaiah Van Brackle?
Judge, that was a pre-trial.
Which means you had to come see me today.
Yeah, and he was on a previous calendar, I think
January 4th? I think?
January 4th.
Or no,
It's when
December
Judge Estrie
21st.
Judge Estrie was here, and I think Mr. Van Brackle was under the influence when he arrived, so Judge Essery locked him up.
Okay, I only remember Judge Essery locked somebody up, that's all. So, okay, Mr. Van Brackle, we'll talk to you in just a little bit. Zachary Ward? Ward? No?
That's for warrant towing.
Okay, so let's get a couple announcements and sweep everybody else up. If you're here today and you are a witness subpoenaed to be here, raise your hand for me if you're a witness subpoenaed to be here. I have one hand over there.
Yes, Betzel. Robertson. Betzel.
All right, if you are here, do you need to make an announcement on that?
No, sir. I'll speak with you in just a minute.
Is there anybody here whose name was just simply not called and you expected your name to be called? Stand up for me. Are you Adcock?
Yes.
Okay, I think they have your case there,
Yes.
and they're not in, so your case is in hand.
Okay.
So we completed her plea and she was gonna meet with probation and then
Oh, yeah, here it is. So, okay, thank you. All right, anybody else? All right, so we're in hand. What are y'all here on exactly?
Let's see. I told Ms. Matthews I would help on the Hudson,
Okay,
and then I think she needed me to chime in on Van Brackle. Mr. Van Brackle is in custody there.
okay,
So if you can give me just a minute to speak with Ms. Matthews about Hudson to get up to speed.
okay.
Is that fine?
Oh, yeah, no, sorry. I thought I said yes, but I was thinking about three things and didn't say them yet. All right, we're off record for a few minutes.
Yes, sir.
All right. You are Leah Adcock.
Yes, sir.
All right, please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Say your full name.
Leah Michelle Adcock.
Okay, this looks good. Ms. Adcock, I'm holding up this self-represented defendant plea rights waiver. Yes, you got it all. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
Are those your initials next to each of the lines on page 1,
Yes, sir.
page 2?
Yes, sir.
Is that your signature?
Yes, sir.
Did you sign and initial this document after having all the time that you needed to review it
Yes, sir.
and because you understood everything that's on it?
Of course, yes, sir.
Do you understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes.
Is that what you'd like to do?
Yes.
Okay. Do you understand that you have the right to a jury trial
Yes, sir.
and that by entering this plea, there will be no trial and this case will be closed? Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Ms. Adcock, have you used a NOLO on a no insurance charge in the last 5 years?
Never.
And you and I are both 21 years of age or older, is that
Yes,
correct?
sir.
All right, so, Ms. Adcock, do you wish to use your NOLO for driving that occurred here in Spalding County on May 4th of 2022 and resulted in this charge of operating a motor vehicle with no insurance?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to find that your NOLO request is proper and I'm going to grant it. I'm going to find that you're knowingly, voluntarily, and intelligently waiving your rights and entering this plea. I reviewed the recommendation and will follow it. Any questions before I sentence?
No, sir.
You ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, Leah Adcock on 22 TK 1719, from May 4th of 22, no insurance, no low is granted, 12 months probation, $590 is your fine. You may work off your fine with community service work if you wish. show you valid license to probation, or to sentence enforcement, excuse me. No illegal drugs, alcohol, or hemp products should be tested for those. Fourth Amendment waiver, $50 per month supervision fee, $25 intake fee. And once 6 months have passed, no violations have occurred, and all conditions have been met, your case will close. You have 30 days from today if you wish to appeal this decision. You have 6 months from today if you wish to use your habeas rights.
All right.
Are there any questions I can answer for you about anything?
No, sir.
All right, so what would normally happen next is you'd normally step out that doorway to meet with sentence enforcement, but sentence enforcement is stuck in this seat right here next to me. And so when Director Matthews gets the first break, she will speak with you and give you directions on what to do next. If you'll just wait patiently out.
Where?
I'm just gonna put her in the jury box.
Oh, that'd be great.
That way
Just
she can
even
just
easier.
take her back.
So,
Okay, thank you.
actually, Clint,
Ma'am.
you don't have to
She's
walk it
gonna
out
sit right there.
to sentence enforcement because I can just hand it.
That way she can just take you back and talk to you.
Shall I walk around the corner?
Yeah, just sit in the jury box. It's more comfortable seats anyway. Okay. All right, and we'll wait on the clerk, please. And Mr. Ballard's. Okay. All right, so they've got a few more bits that they're working on the big hearing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start doing a few walk-in hearings. The way this is gonna work is as follows. So I'm gonna call your name. I'm gonna have you step up to the podium. I'm gonna place you and Director Matthews under oath. Once I've done that, I'm gonna ask you to state your full name, make sure that you understand what you're doing here today, and go over a couple of your rights, including the right to have an attorney. If you're ready to have your hearing, what I'm gonna do is give the floor to Director Matthews, who's going to do two things. She's going to read out what the allegations are as to why the state believes you have violated your probation. That's a question, not a statement. And then they're going to read out the recommendation. What is the recommendation to the court to respond if those things were true? And then I'm going to ask you two questions. A, do you admit to the violations? And then B, is that recommendation acceptable? If the answer is yes and yes, I've already reviewed the recommendation, I will very likely make it the order of this court. If you say no, we'll sort it out from there. So let's start with Blandenberg. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right, if you will both please raise your right hands. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
All right, if you'll state your full name for me.
Janisha Blandenberg.
Ms. Blandenberg, you understand you're here on 21 SR 1049 because your probation officer has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation terms. Do you understand what we're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor's yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 1049, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant did test positive for marijuana on or about December 13th, 2023 at the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Office. Judges, for the court's record, this is a first offender, best interest, high and aggravated plea. The recommendation on this case is for her to report to probation as directed, payments of $25 bi-weekly, zero tolerance for the duration of active probation, enroll in a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days and follow any recommendation, 2 weekends in jail beginning on January 26th and February 2nd at 6 p.m., to turn in proof of valid driver's license, Class C, within 30 days, Her next report date would be January 24th between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay. Two questions. Number one, do you admit to the violations?
I do.
You do? And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I agree. I think it is the appropriate recommendation, and I think it is the appropriate way to get your case back on track and to keep it on track. So I'm gonna adopt it, and I'm gonna make it the order.
Great.
Do you have any questions for me before we part ways?
I don't.
Okay, if you will step out into the hallway
Yes, sir.
and wait for the bailiffs out there, they're gonna bring up your order out for you to sign, and then they're gonna make a copy of it and give it to you before you go.
Perfect.
All right, so if you'll step out into the hallway and wait for the bailiffs.
Judge, just for record purposes, I failed to address the first offender. Are you willing to allow
Oh,
that to
yes.
remain in contact?
Yes, but I do need to say that. So Director Matthews is reminding me that I need to remind you that you have a first offender plea.
Mhm.
So what that means is, as far as today goes, they all knew I was gonna leave it alone, but I need to put it on the record that I'm not taking away your first offender. But if we have to have future revocation hearings, I have every right to take it away and
Correct.
find you guilty.
Right,
Okay, I just have to say that out loud.
right.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
On this one, the calendar shows on 23 SR 0334, shows the charges in reverse.
Did I switch? Yeah,
No.
I saw that, Judge, and I think I was trying. Did I switch them around?
Yeah, but we thought you did, we thought you swapped them yesterday, but then when we pulled the case yesterday, we thought you swapped, you had not swapped it. Because Terrence had the accusation and the calendar had them in the opposite order that the accusation had them in, which makes me want to tear my hair out.
Yeah, it's usually speeding.
It's in Odyssey.
Yeah, it's listed, the accusation does have obstruction and speeding, and then obviously it's speeding.
Oh my gosh, I'm gonna open a
Just
ticket
keep
on
it with
that.
the accusation, it will change it.
Well, and the warrants sequentially went speeding, obstruction.
Ah, okay, so
That's-
it's holding it according to the warrant order.
Yeah,
not the
6805 was the speeding, 6806 is the obstruction, and that's the usual order. But I guess when the FAH did it go in as
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So, all right, well, you keep doing it your way and we'll figure out how to fix it. Because I like the order that you put your charges on your accusation. It makes it easy to figure out what's serious and, you know, it works. So, okay, we're off record on all that. So I'm gonna pass this over to you. Do you want to talk to him before we jump in?
I walked in on the end of it. Did he want to pay it today?
He does want to pay it today.
So I didn't know what you wanted to do.
Can I just have like a few seconds to meet with him, and I'm just gonna send him straight to my office
That
and.
sounds like a great idea. So what, would you tell me what you need?
if she wants to do that right now, I have one that I need to address with you.
Great.
Your Honor, since he said his name was almost Jimenez, I think it's Jimenez almost is how it was presented in the case. Do you need to weigh you've any defects?
Yes, thank you for that.
I'll go ahead and do that as well.
Appreciate that very much. So, all right, if, so we're gonna deal with Director Matthews. Great to see you, Mr. Spalding.
Thank you, sir. May I be excused?
That's so throw that.
All right, see you then.
All right, let's go back on record on, what do you have, Mr. Chairman?
Judge, this is Miss Kelly. Miss Kelly, come up here. Judge, this is Karen Kelly. It's 23 TK 3887. It's a speeding case from August 16th of 2023. Judge, Miss Kelly had contacted my office, I think last week, the first time. She was checking with her insurance company. Somehow she got a notice from her insurance company that she had a speeding ticket. And she said, well, that was not her that did it. And so she contacted my office. We started looking into it. It looks like this is a circumstance where somebody got a speeding ticket in Miss Kelly's name. I've compared the signatures on it, spoken with Miss Kelly out in the hallway. My office has spoken with her. I don't believe that this was her. So I think this is, but they had her correct address, her correct driver's license number, name, date of birth, but the address and the vehicle are not correct. So I don't know if it was somebody is using her name. That's what it's sounding like. I know she said she had some issues with a credit card where she's having to work to clear that up, so that they may be related. We're not totally sure, but it doesn't look like this was her. They've actually paid the ticket. That's the strange thing. So, ordinarily we'll end up with a failure to appear on this, and they find out because their driver's license was suspended for not coming to court. This is not that case. Somebody came in and paid a cash bond on it, so there's really going to be no way to track who did that.
Oh, so they walked in and paid cash and.
That's weird.
Yeah. So, I guess from the state's perspective, we'd be fine with doing a court correction order to clean this up because she doesn't need this on her driving history. The issue is going to be somebody has paid the money into the court. That's not your problem, but I'm just pointing out that
Did
is.
she get the refund?
I deserve it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't have a problem with
my
that.
insurance and went up, and I'm just finding out about this. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Come in.
I think they owe me that.
Ordering the refund to her.
Can we do that?
It's her case.
I don't see why. She, if nothing else, gas money to get down here. It's $232.
All right, I gotta find the order. I've done this order a couple times, but I'm searching right now for it. I can't quite put my hands on it. I do need to say out loud that we will be, that I am asking the state to refer this for an investigation because what this person did is a felony. It's
Yes.
felony false statements. And, they could, I don't know, pull the security camera. I don't know. They'll do whatever they do. But my point is that I always say at this moment to ask the solicitor to please refer it for felony investigation.
Okay.
I've got to find my order.
I can't
If
promise
you want to stick around a minute, I'm gonna try to do that order before I finish court today. If you just want to go, I'm gonna file it. I don't know if you're in a hurry or not, but if you're willing to stick around, as soon as I can file that order, I'm gonna get it filed this morning, and make certain that Miss Erica has all the information you need. So, you want to stick around a minute, or do you want to?
Yeah, because I live too far.
Okay, if you'll stick around, I'm gonna try to get that order.
Yeah, and they may have to cut you a check.
Okay, couple of reassurances. A, I'm gonna sign the order. I haven't found it yet, but frankly, I'm realizing it's gonna take me a minute because you're the first one of these we've had where someone paid the ticket. We've had a couple, we haven't had a flood of these, but we've had enough for me to have an order. And what happens is that I just vacate it and there's no money to move. This is the first one we have to move money, and that is proving to be frankly a whole lot more complicated than it first passed. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say, you don't have to come back, I'm gonna grant your order. You've given us all of your contact information. And so what's gonna happen is I have to do a little research and we have to talk as a court to go, because that money's already been submitted to the county and it's already across and we have to go track it and figure it out. So with that said, I'm gonna say there's no reason for you to stick around today. I will be filing that order before the end of the week. Once I've talked to, frankly, finance across the street and the finance downstairs and figured out what does that look like. I'm going to tell you, if I can refund it to you, I will. That is my goal. But I'm having trouble checking those boxes in the right order. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
fine.
So you are welcome to go,
How
because
soon
we
will
have
I
all the
be-
information we need to get
How
to you.
soon will my insurance company be aware of that? So I can-
Because when I file the order, it will also order the clerk to order DDS to withdraw it from your record.
Okay,
And so the order already has that in there.
Mhm.
The only question is about the money.
okay,
So, but this will clear up your history.
Yeah, DDS will have that in,
All
you know,
right.
within a week, 10 days or so of today.
okay,
So I would just, give it like 2 weeks and then check and make sure it's been done.
all right.
Because, state
Thank you.
State departments move a little slow
Yeah.
sometimes.
Okay.
Thank you so
Have a
much.
clean record.
Yeah, we'll get it for you.
All right,
We'll
thank you.
keep it that way. Have a good one.
You too, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
I need a quick break, so let's, what else do y'all have?
Hudson and Van Brackle.
Well, what about this in a minute? All right, you go with it? All right, what about, Hudson? Tell me Hudson, where are you? Come on up and grab a seat.
Miss, you can just hold tight. Miss Betsy, you hold on. I'll call you in just a minute, okay? The first case was a time served. Is that what it was? Were there? I think this was a jail plea.
And that lady was Karen Kelly.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're about to trip over your this cord here. Sorry, like you're about to trip over.
Patrick, I'll have to double check with, this is a case from Jack.
Okay, it's fine. I was just, I'm pretty sure there was a battery that was a time served.
I will start working on that.
Okay, court calls, State of Georgia versus Franklin Hudson Jr. Is that you, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right, both of y'all, please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give tonight will be the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes.
I do.
All right, state your full name for me.
Franklin Hudson Jr.
Mr. Hudson, you're here on 23 SR 0275 because your probation officer has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
I'm trying to figure out what I'm really here for.
Okay, well, can you answer my question first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to talk about getting an attorney?
I don't really know you, I'm being honest with you.
All right, I'm just going to go forward until you bring it back up again, and then we'll figure it out from there.
Just,
All right, so your question a moment ago, I'm just going to do it.
yes, sir.
Your question a moment ago was you don't know why you're here. Why you're here is because a petition has been filed with me, with the clerk of this court, alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation conditions in 23 SR 0275. What I'm doing right now is printing you a copy of that so that you can see for yourself what it is that you're doing here.
Well, I don't have no glasses on right now.
Do you have a pair of glasses?
No, sir.
You use cheaters or a prescription?
Need like reading glasses.
Hand him my extra pair.
Thanks, sir.
I want those back at the end of the hearing.
Yes, sir.
All right, Clint. It's just A, B, and C at the top, Clint.
Maybe next week.
All right.
He got to sign it. Just want
He just needs to read it.
You just need to read what's A, B, and C.
Okay, so you see it says petition for revocation.
Mm-hmm.
And then underneath it says A, the defendant failed to complete community service work hours as directed. You see that?
Yes, sir.
B, the defendant failed to comply with zero tolerance from November 16th of 2023.
Yes, sir.
And C, the defendant failed to avoid contact with Robin Betzel.
Yes, sir.
All right. So I'll ask you this in order. Did you fail to complete your community service work? Yes or no?
Sir, no, sir.
Okay,
I did some of my community service work until I had the accident. I got broke leg, broke ribs and everything. I had the air flight. And then they had want me to come to court and sit in, but I don't have a way up here to come sit in. I was gonna ask the court on the 4th, can I bring like at least $250?
okay, well, hold on, you're wandering far afield. I asked
Yes,
you a
sir.
very specific question about community service work.
I did a little bit of community service work, but not that much, Your Honor.
Okay, so you're behind on it.
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll talk about the why in a minute. And then B, letter B says that you're out of compliance with the zero tolerance order that I issued after a hearing on November 16th.
What was that?
That would be all the conditions I issued at the last one. Well, let's go to the last one because that's the most important one. Did you have contact with Robin Betzel after being ordered not to? Yes or no?
Yeah, I think I better get an attorney.
Okay.
Cause the fact is, it ain't what it is like that, you know.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So,
Being honest with you, it's like you know, I really let an attorney. I don't know how to go about getting an attorney about this.
okay.
But ain't no contact or nothing like that.
Mr. Shepherd, am I correct that you have a witness here?
Yes, sir, Judge, and I think, wasn't this case moved to today for a full
That's what
hearing?
I thought. I'm trying to remember.
He was here a couple weeks ago, wasn't
I been here about a month ago.
Hold on a second.
We had a previous revocation on November the 16th, and he's in violation of that order. So we set it down for today.
Okay.
It hasn't been continued.
All right, here's what we're doing. I'm converting this into a probable cause hearing. You have your witness here, Mr. Shepherd.
Yes.
If you wish to prove probable cause to me,
Yes.
I'll consider issuing a warrant on it, and then we'll have a hearing later. Okay, so you do, Mr. Hudson, you can stay or go. I have no preference. I'm converting this into a probable cause hearing. The defendants are not required to be present at probable cause hearings. I just need to determine whether or not there's enough for me to issue a warrant on this. You've asked for an attorney. You have that right. After this moment, if I determine there's enough to go forward, you'll be given an opportunity to apply for an attorney. And I'm very confident that you will qualify either way, whether I issue the warrant or not. So, all right, everybody understand what I'm doing?
Yes.
Email Ms. Rich and ask her if you have it already, a warrant. Okay, Mr. Shepherd, the floor is yours.
All right, Judge. We'll call Robin Betzel. Yeah, Ms. Betzel, if you come on up. Ms. Betzel, if you go there and have a seat with Ms. Matthews, is that fine? You can go around that. I want you to trip on me.
Ms. Betzel, if you'll come on up. Ms. Betzel, this is not the full hearing. What this is simply a decision for me to decide whether or not there's probable cause to issue a warrant for Mr. Hudson. Do you understand that?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so this is a very narrow, very short, very small hearing. Mr. Shepherd, floor is yours.
All right, can you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give before the court this morning will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
So we go.
All right, thank you. Can you state your name, please?
Robin Don Betzel.
Now, Ms. Betzel, have you been in a relationship with Mr. Franklin Hudson?
Yes, I have.
And is that Mr. Hudson sitting at the defense table here?
Yes, there is.
Okay, so how long have y'all been in a relationship?
20 years on and off.
Okay, so since March 1st of 2023, have you had contact with Mr. Hudson?
Yes, I have.
All right, has he actually lived in the home with you?
Yes.
All right, has he been living there full-time or?
Full-time, part-time, just however he wants to do.
Okay, so he's been coming and going from your home.
Coming and going.
Now, whose house is that?
This is my house. I got into that house by myself when he was in jail
Okay,
one time.
do you own it?
I rent it.
You rent it? Is your name on the lease?
Yes, it is.
Is Mr. Hudson's name on that lease?
No, it's not.
And you said when he was in jail, has he previously been convicted of terroristic threats against you?
I think so, a couple of years ago.
Has he had a cases of battery against you?
I know there's been some cases. We've been in court a lot. I'm tired of being in these courtrooms.
Okay. So there's been times when he's been arrested for family violence against you?
Yes.
Okay. Now, you told me a little while ago when we spoke that there's been some incidents with your vehicles.
Yes.
All right, what's happened with your vehicles?
Okay, on around November the 4th, 5th, or 6th, I don't give him permission to drive my car. He does not have no driver's license. He's kind of left in my car to come home without him while I was asleep. This particular incident, I went to bed, woke up, police were banging on my door, police were all over the block, somebody called the police out to my residence. And, when the police got there, he wasn't in the yard yet. And, they were trying to talk to me about what was going on. Somebody happened down the street with some people. We got into an altercation. Next thing I know, he comes flying in the house and digging through the kitchen drawers and pulls out 2 butcher knives and runs out the door, leaves in my car without my permission. And when he comes back, the whole left fender was crunched all the way in.
When did that happen?
Sorry?
When did that happen?
That was on 4/56 of November. I can't say the exact date.
November of 2023?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, the police, when they got up there, they said they found the butcher knives. They said that, they would not file a stolen car report because he lives with me. So that was that. They didn't file no report. So following that, I went and got me a brand new car through the bank, through my insurance and all that. And I didn't have it this is like this happened on the night, I'm telling you right now.
November 9th?
Okay, I woke up November the 10th that morning, my car was gone again. I'm on some heavy medication that I had to sleep at night for bipolar. And it kind of like paralyzes me, so I really, get out of it. But anyway, called the police out, and then my daughter-in-law showed up, and the police said that, they would not make out a stolen police report on the car again because he lives with me. Then I get a phone call, well, my daughter-in-law, yes, she said that what she seen, or her on Spalding County page or whatever, that he was coming from near the Easy Shop, and the police got behind him, and he got in full speed of 80 miles an hour going down Experiment Street. It said, I don't have the accident report with me, and it said that the reason I know he was going 80 miles an hour is when you have a brake, they see the speed officer stops on the miles you was going. He hit a telephone pole. They said when he hit the telephone pole, the car started flipping. Well, anyway, got a call from Grady Hospital. I didn't really know about the car then, what I'm telling you now. They said that he was in ICU. They said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to know where my car's at.
Is that how we got these injuries?
Yeah, that's how I got these injuries taken off in my car, right in front of the police. Okay, so then he was in Grady, maybe a week, gets out of Grady, his mama brings him back to my house. I go to bed, I wake up, look outside, my black car's gone again, and I asked him where it was. Oh, baby, it broke down. It broke down in Arby, so I pulled it in the hotel. So I never got that car back.
Okay, so he's taken and wrecked your car 3 times.
Yes.
Since. All right, so
Now,
let me.
insurance company's denied all my claims. They're suing me. I've got to pay all this out of my pocket.
Ms. Bessel, I'm going to kind of loop you back to again, this hearing's about whether or not he's had contact with you.
Yes,
So
he has.
just to reiterate, since March 1st of 2023, he's been around you almost all the time.
Yes.
All right, I don't have any further questions.
Okay. You are here, Mr. Hudson.
Yes, sir.
So I will allow you the opportunity to ask questions. I will remind you that although Mr. Hudson,
Yes,
although
sir.
Ms. Betzel did wander a little bit far afield from the purpose of this hearing is about this wide, which
Yes,
is,
sir.
did you or did you not have contact with her between here and there? And I'm only having this hearing for the purpose of determining whether or not a warrant should issue. So if you want to ask her some questions, you can. But if you wander off with your questions, I'm gonna pull you back in. Do you understand that?
Yeah,
And you may choose not to ask her any questions at all. That's
I just
completely
want to
your
ask
decision.
one question to you, if I was to do a high-speed chase with no license, why I ain't go to jail? I'm driving the vehicle. That's what I want to know. You got to have a license to drive. You don't have no license, you going to jail. Am I right?
I don't understand what that has
If
to
you
do.
drive without no license, I got suspended license.
Okay, hey, I'm not
I'm
doing,
just asking.
hey, I'm not
Yes,
doing
you are.
that
I
with you.
apologize.
I just told you,
Yes, sir.
this hearing is about this wide. And for the record purposes, I'm holding my hands up about a
Yes,
half a
sir.
foot apart about whether or not you've had contact.
Yes,
I'm
we
not-
have. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you have a question for her about that topic or not?
But Yes, yes, sir.
Ask her then.
If I took the car,
Uh-uh, I'm
by
not-
what topic, sir?
try again, sorry.
Okay,
Try
explain to me.
I thought you were talking about your license still when you started talking about the car. Ask your question.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Well, Your Honor, I gotta have a lawyer to see what's going on, Your Honor,
Okay.
Being
okay.
honest with you, Your Honor, this is a whole lot of mix up and it's really a misunderstanding. We did have contact, being honest with you, I got out of Clayton County, I got out of this jail here, she come and picked me up and brought me home, you know?
Okay, I
I'm
didn't
just being honest, that's why I
Well-
say I need to get a lawyer so we can sort through this.
I appreciate your honesty. And
Yes, sir.
Mr. Shepherd will probably want that transcript. Okay, so, all right, well, that's it then. Ms. Director Matthews, have y'all had a chance to email me that? All right, Mr. Hudson, I'm gonna adjourn this hearing then. It's not a full hearing with closing and all that. I'm gonna, ma'am, you may, step down at this time and return back to the gallery. It's okay.
I got one question. Can y'all stop, he can't go to my house, right?
No, I can't.
Stop,
Okay.
stop
Yes, sir.
talking. Only one of us is gonna run this courtroom,
Yes, sir.
and it will not be you. I have been very patient with you as you interrupt me every time I open my mouth. But the next time you do it, we're gonna have a contempt hearing. You understand me?
Yes, sir.
Be quiet. No, he cannot. If you will step out to the gallery, please, ma'am. You remain seated.
Be momentarily, Judge.
That's fine. Okay, go sit in the jury box. Mr. Hudson.
Yes, sir.
Please stop talking. I'm gonna call us back to order. I'm gonna finish Mr. Hudson's hearing by finding that there's sufficient probable cause for me to determine whether that he has by preponderance of, not preponderance, too many civil cases. By probable cause that it is likely that he had contact with Robin Betzel. I'm appointing the public defender's office at this moment. If somebody will please notify Mr. Porter, that I'm appointing them and that, if you all could potentially choose a hearing date, or notify him, I don't know that we have to do it right now, but obviously he needs to be scheduled for a hearing at some
On
point.
Mr.
For
Hudson,
25,
Yeah.
22.
So,
just for record
yeah,
purposes.
I know.
Okay.
42 days.
Yeah, that's fine. That'll sort itself out.
Yep.
Okay, and then, on Diaz Mahano, what I'm doing on that one is that one would have normally qualified for a warrant. He's here today, and so
325.
I've issued the warrant. But Director Matthews says she'll get with the solicitor's office and present him with a
Come up to the second floor.
consent order. What I want to do at this point is talk to Mr. Van Brackle and then step off the bench so that you all can sort out your transports, because that's what I'm anticipating. So, everybody good with that? Van Brackle, come on up.
And
Hi, Mr. Shepherd, you have a role here, don't you?
Yes, sir. Let's see. Shifting gears real quick. Before I get this lost in the shuffle, that's, remember Mr. Wooten yesterday? had,
Yes.
these,
The two cases with the same incident report.
That's cleaning up the duplicate case.
Thank you for that.
All right, so Judge, Mr. Van Brackle was a pretrial diversion marijuana case. It would have been my standard pretrial on that, which would have just been a pay and go. Back from April of 2023. Since entering into the pretrial diversion, he's picked up new charges. The first one was a speeding incident. That's 23 TK 2736. That was doing 81 and a 55. Mr. Van Brackle failed to show at his original court date for that, ended up with a failure to appear out of that case, which the court then lifted on August 1st of 2023. Then Mr. Van Brackle was arrested on December 2nd of 2023 for racing, reckless driving, obstruction, and other possession of marijuana, window tint, and tail lights. I believe we filed an accusation on that case now. I don't have that one.
That's all right, you keep going, I'll find it.
Thumbs up there. So he's on today. The revocation is his failure to record. He missed 2 out of 8. On the pretrial diversion, he's missed 2 out of 8 report dates. He's failed to pay his fines and fees. As of the filing of the petition, he was in arrears, $104. And then also the new charges, the speeding from June of 23, and then the much more serious racing, reckless driving from December 2nd of 2023. What we'd be asking today is that you remove him from the pretrial diversion program. And he's got 124 days left, so he's got about 90 days left or so in the pretrial.
96 SJ.
So we remove him from that pretrial diversion program today, revoke his bond, and he'd be free if he wants to enter a plea and underlying charges today. We'll
All right.
entertain that.
Mr. Van Brackle, I'm deciding 2 things today. I'm deciding you're incarcerated because I scheduled this hearing earlier and you did not show, and so I issued a warrant for your arrest. I'm also opening up the court's database, and I see that you have multiple cases pending before me. The other case is 23 SR 2038. And so, you also have another ticket, 23 TK 2736, 81 and a 55.
Yeah, that's the one that had the FDA on, Judge.
Okay.
June.
So the 2038 has not had a hearing yet. Okay. Actually, it's scheduled for May for trial. So, okay. Mr. Van Brackle, do you understand that I'm trying to decide whether to leave you in the pretrial diversion program or remove you from the program? Do you understand that?
Yes.
Judge, may I say one thing just
Yes.
to clear? On the failure to appear on December the 21st, he did eventually appear. He was late, and then had a strong sense of marijuana. Judge Estring was not willing to go forward, And so Judge Escher said since he did not report as directed at 9 a.m.,
Yes,
he held him on the FTA.
Oh,
So I just
okay.
want the record to be clear that he did eventually show up.
got it.
So he was here and taken into custody that day.
Okay, so my statement was technically correct, but there's more nuance to it than
Yes, sir.
that statement. Okay, that's fair. Okay, so the statement stands, there is more nuance to it, but that's all still there. So, do you consent or object to me removing you from the pretrial diversion program in 22 TK 2967? Do you consent, or do you agree or disagree?
Can I ask what that would mean?
It means that your case would go back to square one, and that we'd be starting fresh with what do I do with your case? And you frankly have 2 other cases pending. I've bundled them all up and moved them forward together as a group.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is consenting to being removed. What I'm also going to do, so the second question on the table is whether or not to revoke your bond. You're technically, that is a moot point because the warrant still stands, the bench warrant still stands. So I do not find the need to revoke his bond because the bench warrant issued by Judge Essery on this matter still stands. So I will not be issuing a bond revocation hearing. But what I'm going to do is, have you filled out an application with the Public Defender's Office yet?
I have not, but I've been trying to get in touch with a lawyer through my family.
Okay, that's a great idea. Like I said, I don't have a preference. I just would like, you've got a lot of moving parts, and just like I appointed Mr. Hudson to Public Defenders just now, I wanted you to see about getting an attorney. So, okay, so what I would like to do is, other cases are all set for trial in May. So I'm going to set this case for May as well.
Judge, can I make a suggestion? on
Yes.
this, If you support that?
Oh, yeah.
I know you'll be appointing the public defender's office, but we'll be back at the jail on the 25th.
Okay,
I'd be fine with putting these cases on for the 25th and
okay.
just addressing
So,
them then.
Ms. Erica, will you put Mr. Van Brackel's cases on the 25th of the next jail calendar? 31st? 31st.
31st, I'm sorry.
Okay.
25th is that probation.
Yeah, oh, okay. So, all right, so 31st. All right, perfect. We're gonna put your case down for a revisit on the 31st to see where you're at. If you're gonna hire an attorney, have your attorney come to the 31st at 9 a.m., okay? All right. All right, so if y'all will have them sign a reset notice with all 3 cases on it for the 31st, and then if you wanna go ahead and put them after that, I don't care if you put it then or there, but it's, one of them's already set for May, that's all I'm saying. So I don't care what you do from there. Okay, Mr. Van Brackel, any questions for me?
I heard something about I heard something about like starting the probation over, if I heard that.
No, I was saying I'm procedurally moving your case back to square one with your other 2 cases. So today I'm arraigning you on everything. And the next step is for us to bring you back to court, figure out what are we gonna do with your cases. And we're gonna bring you back to court. We're gonna go see you actually out of the jail, the detention center on January 31st, to figure out what's gonna happen next. So that way you're not lost out there, okay? All right, so again, if you want Public Defender's Office, fill out an application. If you're gonna hire an attorney, but just know that you're gonna be brought out to the detention center courtroom on the 31st for us to figure out what are the answers to those questions.
So I haven't spoken to my family in a couple of days, but the last update I had was that I was supposed to be hearing from my lawyer either this Friday or next Friday.
Perfect.
I'm not really sure which one, or haven't gotten an update since then, but is there anything that I can do when I meet with them?
I'm sorry?
Is there anything I can do when I meet with them?
Yes, tell them to be here on the 31st at 9 a.m. At the detention center courtroom. And they can see all that when they get on in. So, okay, these are good questions. And again, you're not lost out there. We'll see you in just a little bit. It's gonna give everybody time to get reset. So, you also have a felony pending upstairs, I believe. Is that correct?
I believe so, yes.
That's 23R713. That is set for trial in that's set for arraignment on February 7th and trial in February 26th. So that one's gonna be moving very quickly forward.
That one occurred before he went on probation for this.
Okay, that's what I
why
was-
it wasn't included in it.
Okay, perfect. All right, then I'm gonna put here, I'm gonna make a note on the order removing him from the pretrial diversion program to do not lift or warrant.
I think, and I do have a question about that, because I think I misunderstood. By consenting to be removed from it, am I, like, what exactly?
So no, you didn't harm yourself with that. What I'm saying is that it was a two-step process. A, whether or not to remove you from the program, and then B, whether or not to hold you or not in the jail. The fact that I was gonna make a decision of whether or not to revoke your bond, I did not have to make that decision because Judge Essery has already issued a warrant for your arrest for failure to come to court. And so I just simply didn't touch that, and I left it alone, and I'm not gonna make a decision on your bond at this time. You're already in jail, I don't have to do that. So you didn't harm yourself with that.
Okay,
So the goal is for us to circle back to this on the 31st.
all right, so I still don't have a bond as of right now?
No, not with felonies pending upstairs and 3 cases with me. I wouldn't let you out anyway with that many cases pending. Yeah, I wouldn't let you out anyway. I'm so sorry. You have a felony pending and 3 misdemeanors. It's time for you to take a grown-up timeout and sit and think a little bit about how you got here and what you're gonna do next. Okay? All right, thank you very much, Mr. Van Brackle. Get an attorney or fill out an application with the Public Defender's Office, okay? So that we can get some forward momentum on the 31st. All right, that's everybody. Kip, floor is yours. I'm gonna step off the bench for 15 minutes to let y'all get reset with your inmates. Mr. Shepard, I think that's it for you.
Is that all you need for? All right, Judge, we can be excused?
Yes.
Please write down all of your news.
We're in recess for 15 minutes. Anybody need to step to the restroom, go ahead. And again, y'all's part's gonna go a whole lot faster, so don't panic. We're gonna get everybody out of here in a time now. Y'all's hearings are gonna go a whole lot faster than the others. Y'all got to see a couple of those before we go, before we got going. Let's call Clemens. Come on up to the podium, please.
Judge Miss Irby Purdue showed up late. She's gonna be here.
All right, if both of y'all will please raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, you both sworn. Please state your full name for me, sir.
Brian Clemens.
Mr. Clemens, you are here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, what's yours?
Judge, on 22 TK 5334, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant's failed to report to the probation office as directed, having missed 2 of 8 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $365. Violation C has been resolved at this time, Judge. The recommendation on this case is for him to report weekly for the duration, payments of $155 weekly, to convert his fine to 16 hours of community service at 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. His next report date would be in person on January 24th between the hours of 1 p.m. and 5 p.m.
All right, so 2 questions. Number 1, C is off, so it's just A and B. Do you admit to those 2 violations?
Not the reporting part.
Okay, so this is,
part.
all right, so you're saying you went to all of you did not miss any report dates?
So far, in the beginning of the year.
I don't know what the dates are. The question is, did you miss any report dates or not?
No.
Okay, then this is now a contested hearing. I'm gonna hear evidence from Director Matthews. If you wish to provide it, I'll provide yours as well. And then once I hear it, I'll make a decision as to whether or not you have violated your probation by preponderance of the evidence. If I determine that you have, I'll make my own decision. If not, I'll return you to regular probation. Director Matthews, you are still under oath. When you get a minute and get reset for an evidentiary hearing, if you will testify about, do you admit that you're behind on your fines and fees and not used community service work to get caught up, or do you deny that as well?
The fine, the fee.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You're
I never knew
behind
about
on
no
those?
community service.
I'm sorry?
I never knew about no community service. Just fine the fee.
Okay.
It's supposed to be my security.
Okay.
It's supposed to be my fines and fees and my license.
Well, the issue is you're saying you don't know anything about that, which I'm just gonna call that a denial too. I'm just gonna call the whole thing a denial. It's just clear. All right, Director Matthews, floor is yours.
All right, so he had a previous revocation on May 25th of 2023. His first report date after that revocation was on June the 2nd, and he reported on that date. And he was advised his next report date was on June the 7th. He failed to report on that report date. And then the other date, he was advised, he failed to report on August the 17th after a phone call was made to him. And then Ms. Rich emailed him and told him his next report date was in the office on September the 7th. He failed to report on that date as well. So the dates after transition would be on August 17th and September the 7th. This was a 15-day case, Judge. At this time, there's been 2 main payments made. This case began in March of 2023. There's only 42 days remaining. By your direction, Judge, you want all cases resolved with 60 days prior to expiration. There's been a payment made in April 2023 of $100, and there's been a payment made in December of $40. So at this time, the entire balance would technically be due by your ruling of $465. It appears that Ms. Rich has reset the payment plan in an attempt to work with the defendant. That's why the entire case is not in arrears based off the petition.
Okay, and if you'll address, he's saying he had no idea that he could work off his fund with community service work. Do you have any records of? I mean, I can address what I know happened in the courtroom, but I'm curious about y'all's end.
Yes, sir, give me one moment. Just to read. I do not see any direct documentation from Ms. Peter. So.
Like I said, that's what I wanted to know, because I knew it happened in the courtroom. All right, anything else you want me to know?
No, sir.
All right, do you want to ask her any questions? You can make a statement if you want, but if you want to ask her any questions about what she just testified to about what she's saying, which dates you missed, then you can.
I'm screaming with those days before I went to court the last time I came, or after.
Those are after.
After I went to court.
That's correct. Those are after the transition from JAG to Spalding County Sentence Enforcement also.
All right, do you have any other questions you want to ask Director Matthews?
No, sir.
No. All right, anything else? All right, Mr. Clemens, the Director Matthews does not have any additional information to provide to me in this hearing, which means they're resting, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
All right, which means this is your opportunity, if you wish to provide evidence to me about these two questions on the table. You do not have to present evidence, and if you choose to remain silent, I will not hold that against you in any way whatsoever. But if you choose to testify, you'll be cross-examined just like any other witness. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to testify or do you want to remain silent?
Remain silent.
Okay. Then you have no evidence. Okay, that means the evidence is closed. Anything else you want to tell me, Mr. Clemens, before I make my decision?
No, sir.
All right. Mr. Clemens, I'm going to find that the uncontroverted evidence on the table is that you pled guilty on February 14th of 2023. I'm going to take judicial notice that I read the same PowerPoint every single court date, and that PowerPoint tells everybody that you may always work off your fines with community service work at a rate of $10 per hour. I'm going to find that I also consistently say that in almost every single plea. There is some chance I might not have said it during your plea, but it is unlikely considering I say it in every single plea. So I'm going to find that your statement that you did not know about the community service work is meritless. I'm also going to find that you did already have one revocation hearing with me on May 25th, where I already addressed this and said that you needed to get your case closed. You clearly did not do that. And somehow you avoided a warrant, which is how I was thinking you and I would end up resolving this if you chose not to. I'm also going to find that you are behind on your fines and fees. And as I said earlier, I'm very confident that you were advised that you have the right to convert your fine to community service work. I'm also going to say in that PowerPoint with the rights I read out, I also say that you have the right to ask that your supervision fees be waived, and there's no record of any of those being addressed. So having this 2 of 8, having this be, frankly, a case that was scheduled to close without even having probation, and you've now been on probation with me with a terminated upon completion, and there's only 42 days left. I'm having trouble seeing why I should leave you out. I think I should probably just revoke the balance and close the case, because I don't see a pathway where you're gonna do this,
I just got a job, like 2 weeks ago.
okay? You wanna tell me more information about
I'm
that?
gonna pay it off within the, next week. I got $50, I'm gonna pay the remaining next week.
Okay. Director Matthews, what I have in mind here, you tell me how this frames up with you. What I kind of have in mind is some sort of, he's got 42 days left. What I would like to do is give him like 2 weeks to fix it. And then he needs to go to jail if his case is still open. Because if he's not gonna do it, he just needs to spend a little bit of time there. Is there a way to do that without it being overly complicated? If you have an alternate suggestion that kind of fits that tenor, I'm willing to listen.
Judge, I respect your opinion, what you're trying to do. I think that avenue would be difficult if Mr. Clemens does not take care of it, to meet what the court would like based off of the rules and laws that probation has to follow.
Can I do a purge? I don't do that much. No, I don't think so. I don't like purge
I would-
anyway.
I would request that we go with the order to convert it to accomplish your goal.
And then if he doesn't do that, I take the warrant.
Yes, sir.
So leave the supervision fees, convert the warrant, and,
Convert the court fine.
I'm so sorry, convert the court fine, leave the supervision fees, he pays those off, works off the thing, and then if he doesn't do it, then we take a warrant.
Yes, Judge.
All right, let's do that. Okay, her plan's better than mine. My plan was to have you go with court services today and just go to jail and be done. Ms. Matthews, who you need to thank later, has just talked me out of that, and talked me into giving you a little bit more space. So, because I can go and tell you, like, to me, this is a shrug and I'm done. So I don't understand why I just had to have a contested hearing over you missing two report dates. I don't understand why you're still on probation with me after almost a year on a stinking ticket case that you could have closed all along. I don't get why you haven't communicated with probation first with JAG and then with sentence enforcement later about exploring the multitude of options we provide for people to close their case without cash. You could have closed this case without ever pulling a single dollar out of your pocket. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
And you chose not to. You chose not to. And my response to this is to simply put you in handcuffs, put you in jail, and revoke the balance of your probation because I'm done. So when you see her at your next report date, you better tell her thank you because she just talked me out of it. Do you understand that that just happened?
Yes, sir.
And you better do whatever it is she tells you to do to get this case closed because she's also removed several financial options from you and left you out. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you better do it or you're not gonna like what I do next. Is that extraordinarily clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'm so sorry. Step out in the hallway. Don't leave to the bailiffs. Go that way. Go and step out in the hallway, wait for the bailiffs. Coates. All right, both of y'all raise your right hands. Yeah, grab that, confidently move it up, great job. If y'all both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
I do.
All right, take your hand down, state your full name for me.
Clifton Coates.
All right, Mr. Coates, you are here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you are out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You understand that you have the right to have an attorney represent you,
Yes, sir.
and you're here representing yourself?
Yes, sir.
Is that what you want to do?
I do.
All right, go ahead.
Judge, on 22 TK 3610, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendants failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $224. Judge, this was also a 15-day case. The recommendation on this case is for him to report weekly until full compliance, payments of $88 a week, convert his fine to 28 hours of community service at a rate of 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. His next report date would be in person on January 24th of 2024 between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay, Mr. Coates, do you admit to the violations?
I do.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
I was wondering if I could just pay the day to close it.
You see it that way.
Yes, Judge, if you're willing to allow him to do that today, I would request that if he doesn't do it today, then your order go into effect, the community service conversion would go into effect as of tomorrow.
Okay. That'll work. All right, you said you can do it today, right?
What would be the total payment?
$429.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we'll go by there today or go online.
Either way, my staff goes to lunch in 15 minutes.
Don't go by there before lunch. Go by there after lunch.
Okay.
All right. All right, anything else?
Where would I be going to?
So, you're gonna go to sentence enforcement. So if you walk out the front door of this building, take a left, go down by the pizza joint, Slices. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
You know where the post office is?
Yeah.
Okay, it's across the street from the post office. It's the old post office.
Okay.
If you go to spaldingcounty.com, go to the sentence enforcement page, you'll find their address. How about that? So, okay. So, all right, that's it. If you wait out in the hallway, don't leave till the bailiffs come out and talk to you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next case is Dennis. Next case. All right, y'all both please raise your right hands. You both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand now, state your full name for me.
Giorgio Dennis.
Mr. Dennis, you're here today on 21 SR 1421 because your probation officer from Sentence Enforcement has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
Ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right, floor's yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 1421, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 3 of 8 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $180. The defendants failed to provide proof of attending and completing family violence intervention program as ordered by the court. The recommendation on this case is to report as directed, payments of $55 bi-weekly, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. Proof of enrollment for family violence would be due within 30 days to attend the classes weekly with no interruptions. His next report date would be in person, January 24th, between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right, 2 questions. Number 1, do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable to you?
Yes, except for one thing. I did miss 2 court days, but I did not miss 3. I came into the office and they gave me the paper to sign and then leave. I signed it. I was with Ms. Ellis then, and I'm no longer with Ms. Ellis, I'm with Ms. Patterson. I don't know if she communicated that properly, but yeah, I only missed 2 dates. I think
2 out of 3? I mean, 2 out of 8?
Yes, 2 out of 8, sir.
That's fine. All right, that's fine. That's fine. All right, if you will wait out in the hallway for the bailiffs, they're gonna come out and have you sign your paperwork, and then they'll send you all on the way.
Okay, one thing. Ms. Matthews, can I show you the proof of the classes today? I got the proof that I'm in the classes today.
Just bring it with you.
Next, okay.
Perfect, thank you. While she's doing that, is your Mika Brown present? Okay. Did the solicitor's office get a chance to talk to you? Okay. She was on. I thought they were gonna talk to her. Okay. They're gonna ask if she was late, the answer was no. Okay. He's out in the hall. Okay, Dakota Fields. All right, if you'll both raise your right hands. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
All right, say your full name for me.
Kelsey Fields.
All right, and Mr. Fields, you're here today on 23 TK 410 because your sentence enforcement supervising officer has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Ready to go forward?
Yes.
All right, what's yours?
Judge, on 23 TK 0410, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 5 of 7 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $146. Judge, this is a 15-day case. The recommendation on this case is to report as directed, payments of $75 bi-weekly, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. The next report date would be in person on January 24th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right. You admit to the violations?
Yes. I paid the ticket. It was $400. I just had my second son yesterday. That's why.
Congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate you. So that's why I really missed because my girl, I have been having to take her to appointments and stuff like that.
Okay.
But I paid the ticket, and then I guess the remaining balance is the probation fees.
Yes. So it sounds to me like you're within striking distance of getting this thing closed.
Yes, sir.
So congratulations.
Yeah, appreciate
So good luck with the parenting. Like I said, been there.
He had me up all night, man. He just came home yesterday, man.
Well, all right. Well, let's do this. If you'll wait out in the hallway, the bail's gonna have you sign your order. Get your stuff done, and let's put me in your rearview mirror, and you just focus on being a dad.
I got you. Appreciate you, man.
You'll step out in the hallway. Thank you. She can wander freely back there, and that's okay. She's being quiet, so she's great. But feel free to let her walk around. All right, raise your right hands. Y'all both solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
I do.
All right, say your full name.
My name is Jermaine Antoine Henry.
Mr. Henley, you're here on 21 TK 1804. You're here today because your probation officer has filed paperwork, your sentence enforcement officer has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right. You ready to go forward?
Yes, sir.
All right. What's yours?
Judge, on 21 TK 1804, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 3 of 5 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fees as ordered or request a waiver being in arrears $80. The defendant failed to complete community service hours as directed at a rate of 6 hours per week. The recommendation on this case is to report weekly until the case closes, payments of $44 a week, community service at 8 hours a week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. The next report date would be in person, January 24th, between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right. 2 questions. Do you admit to the violation?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable to you?
Yes, sir.
I agree. I think that's the appropriate resolution, and it gets your case moving forward. So, all right, I'm gonna make that the order of the court. Any questions?
Yeah, I have completed all my community service hours, so.
Great job. All right, so if you'll, I don't need it. If you'll turn that in on your reporting on the 24th, so you can drop it by earlier if you want, but just make sure that you bring it there,
Yes, sir.
and let them confirm that it's all good hours, and then we'll go from there.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Good job. Thank you. Oh, yeah, if you wait out in the hallway.
Make sure you wait in the hallway.
All right, next case is Jenkins, I think?
That's my next.
Okay, Jenkins. All right, while Jenkins is coming up, I'm gonna change our procedure a little bit. I think Ms. Matthews is gonna like it. I'm gonna say that what we're gonna do moving forward, and y'all need to remind me, is I'm just gonna place Director Matthews under oath once when we start court. I think it's silly that I'm placing her under oath every time. And I'm just gonna take judicial notice that she'll be under oath for the remainder of the day. You've already been sworn in several times, so I'm just gonna find that you've already been sworn in. And that way you don't have to stop getting ready for these to take the oath. Because I'm watching you get ready and I'm thinking that's a better use of your time. So,
Thank you.
okay. Please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, state your full name for me.
Kevin Jenkins.
Mr. Jenkins, you're here today on 22 SR 0026 because your sentence enforcement supervisor has filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
You ready? All right.
Judge, on 22 SR 0026, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 3 of 8 scheduled appointments. Allegation number B has been resolved. Allegation C, the defendant failed to complete community service directed, having completed 68 of the 240 court-ordered hours. The defendant did test positive for alcohol on or about December 13th, 2023 at the Spalding County Sentence Enforcement Office. Recommendation on this case is to report to probation as directed, payments of $82 biweekly, to complete a substance abuse evaluation within 30 days and follow any recommendation, 2 weekends in jail on January 26th and February 2nd, beginning at 6 p.m., to complete community service at 8 hours per week, 0 tolerance for 90 days. The next report date would be in person on January 24th of 2024 between the hours of 1 and 5. Valid Class C license would be due by April 1st of 2024.
Okay. All right, so, Mr. Hudson, do you admit to the violations that remain?
Jenkins.
I'm so sorry, I'm looking at Mr. Hudson. I'm so sorry, Mr. Jenkins. Mr. Jenkins, do you admit to the violations that remain?
Yes, sir.
All right, and is that recommendation acceptable to you? What do you have there?
Clinical evaluation I already did.
Great, I'm gonna take a look at it, but I'm gonna have you turn it in to
Alright.
sentence
I've
enforcement.
already turned it in to them.
Wonderful.
Judge,
Again,
so he has completed one. We're requesting that he complete another one due to the positive drug screen,
Oh,
which is your typical.
Okay.
yeah, that's my policy. So I thought you were telling me you had done one since the positive screen.
Okay, yeah, in which,
So just go back there, tell them that you had a positive, and I sent you back to get another one just to make sure we're good.
okay, and then, as far as going on the 24th, I don't know, I'm gonna have to, see, because I'm scheduled for surgery. I have a hernia that's big as a not golf ball, big as a ping pong ball, and I have to have surgery, so I don't know if I'm gonna make it on the 24th or not.
So if that's the case, what you do is you provide them with something from the doctor
Okay.
saying that you have surgery scheduled and
Okay,
that
all
what
right.
your recovery time will be. I don't need it now,
Okay.
you'll provide that to them.
Oh, okay,
And then they'll work with you if it's legitimate, so.
okay, I got you.
Um,
I'd rather get the paperwork.
This will not surprise you, and it's not personal, but there are lots of people that have lots of unexpected surgery when they're supposed to be somewhere that I need them to be.
I got you.
I also have people who have had their grandmother die like 7 or 8 times, so, I'm just saying, we have to be very careful and document these
Yeah,
things.
I already got the documentation.
Okay, you'll probably be okay with it. All right, anything else?
No, sir.
All right, I'm gonna adopt the recommendation as it is and make it the order. Okay, if you will, there's some, yes,
How much you said I had to pay?
I didn't catch that part, but, they'll give it to you.
82 biweekly.
I'm sorry,
82 biweekly.
82 biweekly. All right, if you'll step out in the hallway, there's a bench out there where you can sit, and the bailiffs will be right out to have you sign your paper.
All right, thank you.
If you please raise your right hand for me. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony about giving this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
All right, please state your full name for me.
Miranda DJ Morris.
Ms. Morris, you're here today on 22 TK 3683 because the Sentence Enforcement Supervisor has filed paperwork with the clerk alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. You understand what you're doing here today?
I do.
You have the right to have an attorney represent you, and you're here representing yourself. Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
All right, Director Matthews, you were previously sworn. The floor is yours.
Judge, on 22 TK 3683, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation on the following. The defendant failed to report to probation as directed, having missed 2 of 6 scheduled appointments. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered, or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $472. The recommendation on this case is for her to report to probation as directed, payments of $60 bi-weekly, to convert the fine to 45 hours of community service at 6 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. Next report date will be in person on January 24th between the hours of 1 and 5. For the record, this was also a 15-day case.
Okay. 2 questions. Do you admit to the violations?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes.
Okay. The goal here is to get you in a position where you can close your case. I believe this will put you in that position. And I'd love to see you get this case closed and just see you around town instead of in here, okay? All right, well, let's do that then. If you will step out that way, wait out in the hallway, and wait for the bailiffs to bring the order out to you.
Okay, thank
All right,
you.
Thank you. I need to put on the record that the idea of one oath for Marty Matthews was the suggestion of one Chief Bailiff Morris Pike. So,
John Wayne.
John Wayne originally, but Morris Pike relayed John Wayne's idea. I'm sworn, always sworn. All right, Stillwell? Well, that was productive. Yamika Brown's novels.
I'm sorry.
Hey, I got an idea. You want, this Margaret's gonna be really sad when she finds out that she wasn't here to hold the baby. Does she do markers?
She just turned one. She gonna
I
try
didn't think
to
she was
eat.
old enough for markers. We usually give markers and a pad
She
to
gonna eat
kids.
that. And she teed us. Stop, Carmen.
Well, she is adorable.
Thank
So,
you.
And I remember mine when they were that age, so,
You trying to say hey?
so
Want to say hey? Say hey.
she can grab that.
Say hey. Say hey.
You ready? All right, you ready? All right, so, you do not raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, state your full name for me.
Tequila still live.
All right, Ms. Stillwell, you're here today because your Census Enforcement Supervisors filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation. Do you understand what you're doing here today?
Yes, sir.
And you understand you have the right to have an attorney?
Yes, sir.
And you're here today representing yourself, is that okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, you've been previously sworn, Director Matthews, floor is yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 1397, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to complete community service conversion hours as directed, turning in 0 of 292 hours accepted on or about September 22nd of 2023. The defendant failed to avoid violating the criminal laws of any governmental unit. To wit, the defendant was arrested for the offense of driving on a suspended license on or about November 26, 2023 in Spalding County, Georgia. The recommendation on this case is to report to probation as directed in person until case qualifies for non-report option. Payments of $35 biweekly. Community service at 10 hours per week. Zero tolerance for 180 days. Next report date would be in person on January 24th, 2024, between the hours of 1 and 5.
Okay. Do you admit to the violations?
No, sir. Only one, not the first one. I was recently me and my kids recently in a domestic violence situation, and my brother and my mother destroyed the groceries that I bought for my community service because I had the option to buy food for my community service hours. So I did buy that, and I have receipts showing that I did buy it. And I emailed Ms. Matthews the day that it happened about the situation that happened with me and my kids, and I called her when I got locked up. But from my knowledge, I thought that my license was not suspended anymore because I came to court to get an interlock waiver or whatever. But I didn't know. If I would have known, I would never drove without any license. But I didn't know.
It wasn't.
No.
Okay.
And as far as I heard she say on report in person, I don't have a car and I don't have nobody to get my kids. My two sons are in school right now, so that's why I brought my daughter with me. So I have to get Ubers and stuff like that to get around. And I'm not able to work right now because me and my kids are trying to find somewhere to stay at the moment. And I have the lady with defense something to tell y'all. Her name is Miss Shaw, so she's been trying to help me and my kids find someone.
Okay.
But I didn't intentionally not try to pay.
Well, I mean,
I
see what you're saying. What I want to tell you is that I respect all the different directions you're being pulled. So hear me say that. But I also want you to hear me say they want you to succeed. They want you to succeed. And if you're working with them and communicating with them, they will find pathways for you to move forward in the situation that you're in with your current level of commitments in different directions, including that cute child in your arms.
Because I ain't trying to interrupt you, but me and Miss Matthew agreed, since I did have a way to and from to report, we agreed on I paid like $25 weekly or bi-weekly, and I do community service. But I did it, I had the food, but my brother and my mom destroyed everything. Because I had to come back to court for that. She jumped on me while I had my baby in my arm. So my baby milk, on Christmas Eve, we didn't have nothing. The milk, he poured it out, we didn't have nothing. We still don't have anything.
Oh my God.
But I'm still trying.
Well, just hear me say, keep putting your efforts into this. You and I have plenty of time. I've got 478 days left. As far as the suspended license charge goes, really what we want you to do is just get your license reinstated.
Cause I got.
Because that charge is here with me, right?
Next month on the 13th.
I
Yeah.
don't, I think it's in municipal court.
So you just report? Okay. Well, either way, getting your license back will help, so.
Okay.
All right, well, I haven't heard anything that's changed me from the recommendation being appropriate, so I'm gonna follow the recommendation. I do think it's gonna put you in the right pathway to go forward. You've already got a good line of communication with Director Matthews. Keep that line open. Keep exploring options to get your boxes checked off. And if you do that, yep, there it is, I see it, it's with the city. So the case is not with me, it's with the city.
Where is that?
Next door, in the white building next door.
Okay.
That's where your case is.
Yeah, cause I was explaining them like the situation. I said I got the interlock where up till I said if I knew I would have never drove, but I didn't know.
Well, the best thing you can do at this point is get your license back. So,
Okay.
if you
Judge,
can.
just for the record though, she's turned in a detailed suspension report
Yeah.
and she's not eligible until 2027.
Oh, goodness.
So I've asked the court, we've removed it from your case based off of that documentation.
So
Hey,
what's the purpose of the interlock?
Take that suspension, well, it cuts 12 months off of it. It's very complicated, but it cuts 12 months off of it, and you don't have to pay for the interlock device. It saves you money and it saves you time.
Okay.
But it doesn't change it, it ain't gonna waive that part. But take that suspension detail report to court, it might be helpful for you. Okay,
Okay.
all right.
And-
Go ahead.
with the report then, how would I go about it? Cause I don't have transportation, cause I was
Well-
on online report.
This is what I'm saying to you. I'm not gonna give you a benefit while you're getting revoked. I'm
Okay.
telling you, work with them, do what they're asking you to do. They want you to succeed, and they will work with you to find a pathway. But I'm not gonna give you that pathway right now, because I don't give benefits while we're doing revocations.
Okay.
So, okay, thank you very much. You may step out in the hallway. All right, Irby.
Your Honor,
Oh, yes.
didn't want to
I
tell you.
just wanted to say you're awesome.
Well,
They just said that. You're
thank you
awesome.
for that. Well,
Thank you.
thank you very much. You have a good day. Did you get a copy of it? You got?
Yes, sir.
I did.
Thank you
I
very
got
much.
a copy right here. You want me to give it to you? I'll put it right there.
No, I just want to make sure she got a copy. So. Well, that was nice. Did you get that on the record? She said it was awesome. So, I'm just kidding. All right, last case here. You are, raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right, take your hand down. Take a step forward into that microphone. State your full name for me.
Chelsea Purdue Irby.
Okay, I have you as Chelsea Renee Irby.
Oh, Renee, yes, sir.
Okay, and then I also have you as Chelsea Purdue.
Correct.
Was your previous last name Purdue?
It was. I haven't changed my social yet, so my ID says Irby, but my social still says Purdue.
Okay. All right, well, we've established that that's at least you. You're here on 21 SR 2310. Why were you late to court today?
I'm young. I did not know about this court date.
Okay.
When I spoke to my probation officer, she said head there as soon as possible, so.
Okay, good call. Good. Save yourself a whole lot of trouble. All right, so do you understand that you're here today because your sentence enforcement supervisors filed paperwork with me alleging that you're out of compliance with your probation?
Yes, sir.
And you have the right to have an attorney and you're here representing yourself? Is that what you want to do?
Yes, sir.
All right, then Director Matthews, you previously sworn. The floor is yours.
Judge, on 21 SR 2310, the defendant is alleged to have violated the terms and conditions of probation in the following. The defendant failed to pay the court fine and fees as ordered or utilize community service work in lieu of the court fine, being in arrears $524. The recommendation on this case is to report as directed, convert the fine to 88 hours of community service to be completed at a rate of 15 hours per week, 0 tolerance for the duration of active probation. The next report date would be in person on January 24th between the hours of 1 and 5.
All right, and will you add 8 hours community service work?
Yes, sir.
All right, so I've added 8 hours of community service work for being late. Do you admit to the violation?
Yes, sir.
And is that recommendation acceptable?
Yes, sir.
All right, I find it as well. Kip, you can take your handcuffs off now. All right, then I'm gonna make that I'm gonna accept the recommendation, make it the order of the court. And I've added 8 hours for being late. Let's do Director Matthews is filling that out. Let's do your name again. So if I have you in my system as Chelsea Renee Irby, that would be a correct iteration of your name.
Yes, sir.
All right. And then I also have Chelsea Renee Purdue, correct?
Yes, sir.
And then you said you also go by Chelsea Purdue Irby?
Yes, sir, just until I can get the social security office to get it changed.
Okay. But I do have, I am gonna put that in here so that I have that as a searchable way to find you.
Okay, thank you.
Any other organizations of your name that I should put in here?
No, Your Honor.
All right, well then, we're good to go, but you want me to use Irby as the name. Chelsea, which one do you want me to use as the main one?
Irby is fine.
Chelsea Renee Irby?
Yes, sir.
All right, Chelsea Renee Irby, that's the one. Okay, they're gonna have you sign your paperwork out in the hallway, and I'll give you a copy before you go.
Okay, thank you.
All right, issue all the cash bonds, even if the name doesn't appear on the calendar, or forfeit all the cash bonds, even if the name doesn't appear on the calendar.